Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Percy Jackson and the Olympians Global Press Conference. Very excited to have you all here today. With us today, our talent, we have Walker Scobell, who plays Percy Jackson, Leah Savay Jeffries, who plays Annabeth Chase, Ariane Simhadre, who plays Grover Underwood. Then we have Dan Schatz, one of the executive producers on the series, and we have John Steinberg, who is the co-creator, showrunner, and another executive producer on the series. The session will run for 30 minutes today, and we will get through as many questions as we can. Reminder, when you're submitting your questions in the chat, please include your name and outlet and country. That would be very helpful for us, followed by your question. I will announce your first name and outlet name when it's your turn to ask a question, and then you'll be prompted to unmute yourself and ask your question. I will also cue the outlet that is on deck so you can get ahead and get prepared for your question. Let's get started. So up first, we're going to have Angie Beidler-Sutton from the Geekery, and then following her, we're going to have Melanie Gurges from Austria.
Hi, thank you for being here. I just wanted to know how familiar you were with the books before getting involved with the show.
Well, for me, I've been reading the book since third grade, and it's been really great to be able to experience filming the books I've read since I was in third grade, I guess. What about you guys? This is the first interview of the day.
How many times have you read them?
I've read the book 7 times. The first
7 now?
7, yeah. I read them in
God.
school. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much how we all feel. We were huge fans of the books before. I mean, me personally, I was a huge fan before I even knew that they were starting a show. So getting to play such an iconic character has been like just amazing.
And to add on to that, I literally agree with all what they said. Actually, before I had got the part for Percy Jackson, I was at school writing a mini essay on Percy Jackson, actually. And like when I found that I got the part and stuff, I had to do a little book in my school assignment. And I found out that I had did the essay because I kind of forgot for a second. So it was super exciting to know that I spoken to Percy Jackson.
Up next, we have Melanie G from Austria, and following Melanie, we're going to have Karen Butler from UPI.
Hi, this is Melanie. I was just wondering if you could be any Greek god for one day, which one would it be?
It's a good question.
That's a very good question.
Oh, we get like all of their powers. I'd say Hermes, mostly because he can fly.
I would say, I mean, I kind of have to say Poseidon.
Yeah, right.
That is, Hermes is a good answer. I might choose Hermes to be Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Specifically. Yeah.
I would definitely choose Athena, which is my mother, because I want to be her. And either Athena or Zeus, because I have control of everything.
Oh, that's good.
That's good. Yeah.
I would, I think of Festus because I'm really not good at fixing things, and this would be an awesome skill set to have.
Yeah.
I'm with Leah. Zeus seems like a pretty good gig. I'm in for that.
Next up, we have Karen Butler from UPI. Following Karen, we're going to have Christopher G.
Hello. I was just wondering what you loved about your these iconic characters and how you made them completely your own.
How we made them our own. Well, really, I took this character and I mixed it up. And when I say mixed it up, I made sure that I still had Annabeth, but also giving my natural self. And I think that really played a big good part and stuff. I have a goofy side of me, but I also have that straightforward, serious, let's get straight to the point person. And I definitely didn't just mix Annabeth with guys, stop, you're so jokey. But I imagine that would be really crazy. But I definitely Mr. Rick, he told us to be ourselves when we film this. So I think that's what made the chemistry really good between all of us with playing this part, but still giving Annabeth, Percy, and Grover at the same time.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I don't think I really made him we all kind of did in a way, but I think it was more like for the show, we kind of tried to ground it a little bit more in real life, you know? And so I think that it's really important to remember that he's still a 12-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And so he kind of, kids throw tantrums sometimes, they get angry. I think it's much more of an emotional journey for him, you know?
Yeah, I completely agree. Like we all kind of brought ourselves into the character. What I really liked about Grover is that he kind of starts out like he's kind of like skittish, a little cowardly, but you can still see that he's always willing to put himself in front of his friends. And kind of like Walker said, like that journey that all of us go through, Grover like kind of comes out of his shell a little bit more and is more willing to kind of throw himself in front of danger to protect the people that he cares about.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Up next, we have Christopher G from CoveredGeekly, and following Christopher, we're going to have Rachel Leishman from the Mary Sue.
Hello, guys. So let's get this started. So every Percy Jackson fan knows about Perkabeth, which is a really cute dynamic that the two share throughout the series. How do your performances begin to showcase that, and what are your favorite moments that bring that dynamic out?
There's a lot of great moments in the show. I think one of my favorite moments is in the Tunnel of Love. Kind of a basic answer, but I think it really kind of sets up the relationship for the rest of the series.
I agree. I actually agree with what he said in the Tone of Love, because I think that's really when that you can start to see the chemistry and the intenseness of how the friendship is building into it, basically, if that makes sense. Because definitely at first it was like Annabeth and Percy were like enemies almost to each other. Like one is like being all jokingly, the other's like, stop doing that, please. So like, but definitely like that's what really built the character and stuff. So like I do agree, like when it was in a Ton of Love, that's what made them realize like, oh, this person not so bad, and you're not so bad either. So yeah.
All right, thank you so much.
Alrighty, up next is Rachel from the Mary Sue, following Josh from Comic Book Movies. And quick reminder for all of our press, please state who your question is for. If it's for all talent and EPs, please say so. Thank you.
Hi guys, so this is for all of you. Since you guys are all such big fans, going to Camp Half-Blood is obviously such kind of a big dream for every Percy Jackson fan. So what was it like getting to be on that set and experience Camp Half-Blood and get to be a part of something so iconic for this franchise?
It's a really good question. Well, for me, it's I'm sorry, I have to think about this for a second. That's a good question. I was gonna say I think it was really surreal. I guess it's the only way to put it. But it was just really weird being there, because you've been imagining it for so long, and finally getting to see it is like, it's not real,
I've never seen people bring something that was just like a story to just like a story that was written out to life so good. Like I've never seen somebody bring so much detail from a book and actually add it, like the specificness of how they said the grass look or how the trees look. Everything in the book was literally like it came out. Like it wasn't like, oh, well, maybe we should change that a little bit. It was like, no, we specifically want this. Like that one piece of bark is red or something. Like they brought everything to life. Thank you guys. So I just, like what Walker said, it was very surreal, because like when they were first like, okay, we're gonna bring you to Camp Half-Blood, I was like, okay, cool. And when I went there, like I walked out feeling like I actually lived in that book, and like it was it was very, very surprising and very unimaginable, if that makes sense. I forgot my word.
The I think what was amazing for us seeing it come to life was it's the first time I've seen hundreds of background artists put a shirt on and their whole body changed.
Yeah.
They because all the kids that were at the camp were so connected to the books themselves that them being able to put these orange shirts on and honor this book and play these roles, it was overwhelming just seeing the excitement from everybody who was there. It was just it was really powerful moment.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Up next, we have Josh from comicbookmovie.com.
Hey guys, so for Walker, I was wondering how much did working with actors like Ryan Reynolds and Owen Wilson on previous projects as a young actor help prepare you to take center stage in a series like this one? And is there a chance we might see you reunite with those guys in Deadpool 3?
Not that I know of, but I think I learned a lot of valuable lessons from them that I used while filming Percy Jackson. And yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not hopefully we reunite someday, but yeah, I don't know.
You want to do the monologue?
I would, but since it's Disney Plus.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next, we have Mike from TV America, and following Mike, we have Diego from Award Radar.
There we go. Okay, Walker. I was off for a few minutes, so I hope this didn't get asked already. When I was watching you first being new to the camp, and it looked like you were completely overwhelmed, I was thinking about how, you know, in your own life, you were in a military family, you moved around a lot and changed a lot. So I was wondering if that background kind of influenced you as an actor, helped you to become an actor, and if it kind of reflected on you when you were in Percy, who's constantly being overwhelmed by new situations.
That is also a very good question. And I feel like in a bit, yeah, in a way. Mostly I think that helped with, I think that helped the most with being an actor just in general, because my dad is so used to like moving around a lot, and our whole family is, so it wasn't really a big change from going to that to acting. So I think it prepared our family very well for this. So yeah.
And did you, because you had to be in new situations all the time, did that make you a little bit more of an actor in real life? Did you tend to put yourself out there more because you had to keep being new?
I guess it does. Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good question.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Thank you.
Up next, we have Diego from Awards Radar, and then following Diego, we have Brenda Patron.
Hi, good morning to everyone. I just wanted to ask, for the cast, you've read the books a lot, and you said you related to the characters and you wanted to bring all of that into the series. But from each of your characters, what can you say that this is me? This is my mannerism. This is my way of doing things. Which parts of yourself did you implement in those kids?
Walker's definitely very rebellious.
Mischievous.
Yeah.
I think Percy's sense of humor. I have a very similar sense of humor to him. Yeah, I think so.
I would take Annabeth's vulnerability from her. Like, I'm gonna try to keep my short. I know I talk a lot, but definitely, I think her vulnerability also, while bringing out the focusedness of her. I feel like I can definitely be focused, but also have a deep sensitivity to me as well that I took from her.
For Grover, one of my favorite things, like, reading his character in the books was how connected he is to everyone that he cares about, which is a trait that I really admire in him, and it's something that I really want to try and take from that character and put it into this story as much as I can.
Also walking like a
Thank you
goat.
so much,
Also
guys. Have
walking like a
beautiful
goat,
day.
yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you.
Have a beautiful day.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, up next, we're gonna have Cherry from Cherry, Los Angeles, USA.
Hi, I have a question. What scene from the book were you most excited to film? And then what scene are you most excited to share with fans who will be watching the show on Disney Plus? Thank you.
The Ares fight.
Yeah.
Come on. It's the Ares fight.
For both, it's turned out so well.
I don't even think there needs to be an explanation. It's the Ares fight.
It's the Ares fight.
It is the Ares fight.
It is the Ares fight. Also, the Council of Cloven Elders scene was really fun. I'm not sure if it made it to the final cut or not, but it was just this day of everyone was dressed like me. Everyone was bleeding. No one talked with words except for me. And by the end of the day, I could understand word by word what everything meant. It was so much fun.
That's a good question. The Ares fight.
Ares fight.
We're all here for the same reason. I don't know. I think that these relationships between these kids, I think, were really what got me excited about the book. The first time I read it, got me excited about the project when we came on, and watching these guys inhabit that and take stuff and make it so human and so much fun was really pretty outstanding. I'm very excited for people to, I guess, see the book in a different way.
I think for me, we got to do some pretty amazing creature design in this show. Things that I think have never been seen like this ever. And so for me, it was the Chimera fight between Percy at the top of the arch. It was just pretty epic, and Walker's amazing in it. And it's I'm excited for everyone to see that one.
So our next question is coming from Brenda Patron. It's for all of you. So how did it feel to work? Most of the cast is teenagers. How did that feel? Was it a challenge? Was it fun on set? Tell us about that.
It was kind of strange at first. Realizing that when we started, I was 15 or 16. Walker was 12, something like that. And it was strange because they carry themselves with so much more maturity than you would expect of a 12-year-old. And it was I got to work alongside peers instead of having to, this is gonna sound kind of mean, but babysit. They were really good.
You do a little babysitting.
I had to do a little bit of babysitting, but we learned from everything.
Yeah, it's certainly made it a lot more fun because there's more kids on set. I love working with adults. They're great, but sometimes it's fun to have someone your own age there, like Leah or Arian. They're similar in age. So yeah.
I also agree. Because a lot of my shows or movies that I've been on, it's always been with adults. So actually this was I think this was my first film actually with kids, because I had one where I had a brother, but more than one kid, this was definitely my first one. So I'm used to being oh yes, Mr., Mrs., and all that stuff. And for a second, because Aryan is older than me, I think one day I went to him and I was like, Mr. Aryan? And then and then he looked at me huh? I was like, oh, I did not mean to say that. I am so sorry. I was just trying to be as respectful as I can. Sorry, I was trying to be
Mr. Aryan to you.
wow, okay, Mr. Anyway, but most definitely. It was the most awkward thing you could have ever seen. Like I went to him and I was like, Mr. Aryan, and he just gave me the biggest side eye. Like, what are you talking about? Like that day, I didn't talk to him for like 6 hours. I was embarrassed, but yeah, I do agree with them though.
And then John and Dan, what was it like to work with a mostly kid cast?
I think on this show it's easy to forget. I think this show doesn't really it doesn't behave like a show for kids or with kids. I think and I think a lot of that is really a tribute to these guys and to the rest of the cast, that everybody was such a pro. And not just showing up for work and not just working hard, but handling really complex emotional stuff that I think is hard for any actor. It's a story about what it's like to hurt people you love, what it's like to be in a complicated relationship with a parent. And I think the more they were able to pull that off, the easier it was to forget that that everyone was 16 and 13 and 12. They did an amazing job.
They also they even though you guys were such pros the entire time, they just brought such a joy to the making of it, to the set, being silly, having a good time, coming with the greatest energy every day, that it was contagious. The entire crew just felt it and just was having a ball the entire time we were making it. And that's a tribute to you guys.
Up next, we have Francisca from We Got This Covered, and on deck we have Miguel Morales.
Hi, everyone. My question is for Mr. Steinberg and Mr. Schatz. So with the series, you do get a bit more space to make a faithful adaptation, but still things do inevitably end up getting cut. So my question was, how do you toe the line between maintaining the essence of the source material and successfully bringing the story to a completely different medium like TV? Thank you, guys.
It's a good question. I think it's a little more art than science. I think as you're reading the book, it starts in terms of trying to form a sense of what really is contributing to the sense of the journey, to the important moments, to the stuff you remember a couple of days later. I think that conversation became much more detailed and much more substantive once you're in conversation with Rick and with Becky about the things that they have those feelings about, the things they feel like this wouldn't be a Percy Jackson story or Percy Jackson journey without. And then from there, you just start planting flags and things and feeling like if this wasn't in the show, I think as a fan, I'd be disappointed. So that's got to be in there, and trying to figure out how to stitch everything together in a way where nothing feels extra. Nothing feels like it's there just because we wanted it to be there. It all has to be part of a story that that functions organically and that makes you feel like it was always built this way, even though it's in the middle of a pretty serious adaptation.
Up next, we have Miguel from R7, and following that, we have India E Times.
Hi guys, Miguel from Brazil. Movies and TV shows are full of props and there are lots of real things on set. You guys take anything home after filming?
On camera, no. Everything is where it should be.
These guys took everything.
Yeah. I did take the sword. I took 2 swords. I took a metal one and the bamboo one because I can't.
You got the metal one?
Yeah, how'd you get that for security?
So, well, I think I kind of forced him to give me the metal one on accident because I kept telling him I was going to steal it, and I think they believed me. So I think they had to I'm pretty sure there's a whole meeting about it. But I did get to take the metal one. I got to take my armor, and they told me I could only take 1 outfit, but I just put them all in a duffel bag and left. So I'm a little afraid to go back. Yeah.
I managed to get a hold of the shoes, the flying shoes that me and Walker wear, the ones that Luke gives us. I wear them on almost a daily basis. And I think I also got a set, one of the bamboo swords of Riptide and his shield from Capture the Flag. That was really cool. Oh, and the Myth of Magic cards.
Oh yeah.
I got a full deck of those.
I actually took a whole centaur home with me. So
What?
I took the whole thing.
You took him in terminal?
You took the horse?
I took him. I guys like I was like, you're coming with me. So I took it home. No, actually, let me stop. But what I did was I got 2 shields. I have my own personal, and I have the Camp Habla shield, and I have the necklace with my father's ring on it. I also have my jacket. sorry that I sorry that I wear in the show, and I feel like I'm forgetting
Did
something.
you get your dagger?
I did, yes, I did. I wanted to get the metal one, but I couldn't, sadly, because I did not force them.
Sorry.
But I did get that, and I did get one thing, but I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. So I did get another thing, but yeah, that was great. I
What did you take? Now I'm worried.
No.
promise you, it was.
We won't miss it.
It was.
You're good.
Yeah.
20,000.
Walker's going to be jealous. John and I took Aries' sword.
What?
Hanging it over the mantle.
Okay.
Oh.
As long as it looks cool.
Yeah.
Presented in your house. I actually got a sword stand specifically for Riptide in my room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I got the helmet I put on display.
Oh,
as
you
well.
got the helm. We got the helm too.
Oh, you got the helmet?
The Helm of Darkness.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
I'm glad you told us this to me yesterday.
You can rate our offices.
Our next outlet is India E-Times, followed by Brain Damaged France.
Hi guys, hope you're well. Yeah, my question is to Walker, and the question is, what did you learn and unlearn from your co-actors?
What I learned from my co-actors, that's a good question. I learned a lot of good tips for fighting scenes with Edge. What did I learn? I learned a lot. There was a lot of co-actors. I got to think about this. There's a lot of people. From Arian and Leah, I learned a lot of good press things from Arian. Arian's way better like interviews than I am. Still getting used to it. Still a little bit nervous, but also I learned that from Leah. They're both very good at it. So yeah.
Yeah, okay. So my question is to Leah Shava. So my question is from Empire Beast, like something from Tiffany's. What do you feel that's different, like in Percy Jackson as a person and as an actor? Like, what do you feel it's different? What do you feel that it, so special for you?
I feel like if I'm making a connection from Beast to Percy Jackson, in Beast, I was more scared of the monster, aka Lion. I was definitely like very nervous, very scared and stuff, even though I did save everyone's life. Like I always do. But I was definitely more afraid and more scared. So, and like that put me into more of a be fearful of the monster. And in Percy Jackson, I'm more like, come on, show me what you got, basically, to the monster and stuff. And I'm like, I'm ready for it. So like I had to switch from, oh no, I'm scared, to guys stand back. So like, like if I'm making that big connection, it was fun, challenging, if that makes sense. Like I liked how I was able to switch my character. That's the big fun part of acting, how you can change yourself to be anybody. But yeah, I definitely liked being this person where I'm screaming 24/7 to where I'm telling the person not to scream anymore.
Yes.
I went from to, can you stop yelling, please? So like, so it's super cool to do that. But again, yeah, that was a good question. So thank you.
All right, up next is Emily from Monster Donut.
Hi, everyone. This is my questions for everybody, which is, what is your favorite Greek myth?
Ooh. Orpheus and Eurydice, mostly because Hadestown is my favorite like thing ever. I love Hadestown. And it's just such a good myth. There's so many like versions of it. Each one is, I don't know, sadder than the last. it's I think my favorite myth.
I think I'm gonna have to go Keely's or Icarus.
Oh yeah.
Both of them are pretty awesome. I can't pick. Also, I have a question about your name. Monster Donuts. Is that from the second one? The second book? Could you hear me?
Oh yeah, the shop.
Yeah, the shop that with the Hydra.
Yeah.
Yes, it
It's
is.
I think that's awesome. Yeah, I like it. I like that name.
Amazing podcast.
It's good.
Yeah. Love your podcast.
I'm gonna listen to it
Thank
now. That's
you.
awesome.
Hey, you want to go? No, stop. I'm trying to think. No.
Favorite Greek myth?
Oh, so many.
I know.
So many to pull from.
Daphne's going to be upset. I'm not going to say Theseus. I don't know. I think I find myself in the Odyssey a lot. In all of its parts. I think when especially trying to put this together in a way where you're trying to make this feel like a journey, and you're going to need some spare parts to stitch pieces together in this book that to kind of make it work in this medium. So that's where I always run to.
And this is a cop out, but we just got lost in all of them. Like it's what was so amazing about what Rick built is like you could just find your way through so many different myths, and the ones obviously he pulled to weave this story. But also we went back into so many myths to add for the series. So there was it's just all of it. Like it's so amazing to immerse yourself in all of this mythology.
Next question is from Rolling Stone Brazil. And the question is, Percy Jackson has some very passionate fans. How did you make sure you were giving your best to bring these characters to life, as faithful to the books as possible?
That's a really good question. Anyone want to go first?
I think you have to be extremely respectful of it. I think you also at the same time have to not be afraid of it. I think you commit to telling a story about this kid and trying to figure out how he and his friends are going to get through this and making the story work on its own 2 feet, and then trying to figure out how to make sure that it is also doing all of the things that book wants. I think it's a constant balancing act between a real sense of reverence for the material and a willingness to try stuff. And I think having Rick and Becky on board makes that process possible. I think the ability to pitch something new and then look at their faces and see if it's working is invaluable. So I think you kind of have to be able to walk both sides of that line at all times.
And there's no one closer to this book series than the Riortons. And what was so impressive about them was they were open to looking at it themselves. Rick wrote this 20 years ago, and he was, had some distance from it. So it was exciting to hear what things he wanted to do with it, how he wanted to explore different themes and ideas and dig deeper into all of it. So it was kind of amazing to watch. And they were insanely collaborative for us all to bring what we brought to it. So it was a special relationship.
All righty, that wraps today's press conference. Thank you all for attending.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Everybody.